Now that we've started the project, let's take a look at what was included in the template. If we look at the View Filter Manager, we'll see all of our predefined standard layers. If we right-click in the View Filter Manager, say Layer Options, now we can scroll through the layers and see the properties of each one and change them as needed. The Materials library can be found through the Takeoff menu, Material and Site Improvement Manager. For this template, we've embedded a library of materials and site improvements, or alternatively, you can select an external library. We can scroll through the materials and see that we have aggregate type of materials and associated properties, building types of materials like concrete, demolition materials, earthen materials, so that when we start to calculate the earthworks, that we have all the earthen materials and their properties, erosion control like silt fence and geotextile fabrics, landscaping items like block walls, seeding and sod, pavement like asphalt heavy duty and light duty, as well as utilities like sewer improvements and materials including PVC pipe, reinforced concrete pipe. And if we go down to the site improvements, we see that we have a building pad site improvement that's made up of concrete that's 6 inches thick. We have demolition items, including area-based ones like asphalt that are 6 inches thick, bollards, which are just counts, curb and gutter, which is a length with a cross-sectional area, and saw cuts that are just length materials. We have erosion control items, fence, gas line, landscaping items, pavements, sewer utility items, and water line. If we go to the Takeoff menu and then Categorize Takeoff layers, we'll notice the layers from the template are already categorized. So all we have to do is add data to these layers in order to first create the surfaces. So everything on the original ground tab will be used to generate a original ground surface. Anything that has a symbol will be counted as a site improvement, or things that we will build. In this case, things that we'll demolish on the original ground layer, things that we want to count like bollards, things that we want to get volume and length of like curb. This is a cross-sectional area and length, so we'll take the length times the cross-sectional area to get the volume of curb to be demolished, the length of rail fence to be demolished, and the ones with green check marks will be candidates for area-based site improvement boundaries. So all we have to do is simply click inside of a boundary and it will create a site improvement with a thickness to get our subgrade adjustment and volume of material. If we go to the Design tab, again we see a list of layers that will make up the finished design surface, as well as the layers with green check marks that we can use to create area-based site improvements with thicknesses. If we go to the Other tab, we have other layers that will be used to calculate quantities, but they won't be used to generate any surfaces. On the Utilities tab, we have all of our utility items that will be counted in our takeoff report, but again won't be used to generate any surfaces. We have also unused layers, which will not be used in the takeoff, and unknown layers, which are any unprotected layers. Lastly, in the template, if we go to the View Filter Manager, we'll notice that we have predefined view filters, so that we can click from the drop-down and select just the layers as part of that view filter. So for example, for existing, you see it highlights all the existing ground layers. If we go to Design, it highlights all the finished design layers. So it's very useful for flipping back and forth between different types of layers that you want to look at.